I'm Neil from Legends Podcast, a podcast member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready, because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
You have been granted clearance by Director Phil Coulson. Stand by for S.H.I.E.L.D. debriefing. All information to be discussed here is classified and may only be discussed among agents granted clearance by the S.H.I.E.L.D. Director.
Now it's time for your scheduled debriefing. I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
I'm Agent Lauren.
And I'm Michael Ruddy.
Welcome to the Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Comic Universe podcast. This is podcast number 91, discussing Astonishing X-Men. This podcast is recorded on Wednesday, September 23rd, 2015. Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a fan-based podcast on the ABC television show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's Agent Carter, Marvel's Daredevil on Netflix, and the general Marvel comic universe.
Because, I'm sorry, I was remembering to put on all my clothes.
If you'd like to talk to us about putting on all our clothes, you can visit our website, legendsofshield.com, where you'll find all of our contact information. We have a voicemail line, 844-THE-BUS-1. That's 844-843-2871. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and YouTube by searching for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. because we are on all of those places. And we have forums available at forums.gonnageek.com, or you can search for Gonna Geek on the Tapatalk app.
This time on Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., we're going to be talking one last time about our Ant-Man Marvel Crate giveaway. We're going to be talking about the Astonishing X-Men comics and motion comic. We'll be talking about 3D printing, cosplay, and prop making. We're going to be talking about, as of course we always do, our weekly comic book news with a S.H.I.E.L.D. report. We're going to talk about all the rest of the Marvel news and your feedback. Mr. Michael Ruddy, it is a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Please enlighten everybody just a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Thank you for having me. So as you said, my name is Michael, and what I do is cosplay prop making, and the majority of the work I do is through 3D printing and with other forms of media involved into it. Cosplay has become a huge part of all the conventions, and now there's conventions every single weekend all around the country. So making props throughout the week is just what I do on my spare time.
Awesome.
And it's almost becoming a full-time job.
I'll bet. Podcasting is becoming a full-time job to a few of us on the Gonna Geek Network. So we'll talk a little bit more in depth about that as we get past the X-Men, but that's a great tease. We can't wait to get to that. And so this week, Haley said, hey, we have 1 week before Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back next week. Yay! Woot. So we've got 1 more week. I'm going to put this on the schedule. Astonishing X-Men. I said, what's that? And then she said, get a hold of the videos and you'll see what I mean. I'm like, is it a cartoon? She's like, no, it's
Sorta.
Yeah, sorta. It's a motion comic. And I was like, all right. So I was watching and I'm like, hey, this actually works. So Haley, since you picked it out, you tell us exactly what we're watching here.
Astonishing X-Men was a run of comics written by Joss Whedon, which is why the dialogue is so amazing. I stumbled across it on Netflix one summer. Like, I finished watching X-Men, and then I finished watching X-Men Evolution, and then I finished watching Wolverine and the X-Men, and this popped up as a recommendation. I was like, what is this? I've never even heard of this before. And I watched all of it, and I was like, oh, it's just one of the greatest things ever. That's what this is. So I had to recommend it to the group.
Yeah, Joss Whedon and the dialogue. There were so many hidden gems. There were so many Star Wars references. There were so many references in general. It was pop geek culture. It was fantastic. It kept my attention the entire time. Kept on hitting play for the next one. It was pretty cool. Now, Lauren, you didn't watch them. You read them for this podcast, right?
I watched them a long time ago, back when they were still on Netflix.
Okay.
I didn't rewatch them for this episode, but yeah, I reread the comics. And remember reading the comics also years ago. I think I read them before the motion comics came out, though. I had been really reluctant to watch the motion comics when they came out because my first experience with motion comics was the Watchmen motion comic, which was terrible. The animation was bad. The voice acting is all done by the same person. And his voice was just so awful. It was just, I don't know. This was his voice for Silk Spectre, and it was just so bad. The animation was just so awful. And then I saw they had motion comics for this. It was like Black Panther. They had a bunch of other kind of seminal stories done for Marvel a few years ago that they put on Netflix. And I was like, it's late. I have nothing to do. I'll give it a watch. So I tried it out and I was like, oh, they actually hired voice actors and put a little bit of money into this. This is all right. This is pretty good. And I thought it was a pretty good adaptation of the medium.
It was. And it's a great story, too, as you pointed out. Now, Michael, you caught a little bit of this, right?
Yeah, I caught the first 3 episodes, and I agree that the voice acting is really good. Wolverine and Beast, if their voices aren't right, it could throw the whole thing off, and I think their voices were great.
Yeah, Wolverine was just excellently played. Not the Hugh Jackman, that's for sure.
No.
But it was more Wolverine-ish, in my opinion. It was great. I liked it. I liked all of it except for the psychedelic stuff that happened, like, about 3/4 of the way through. It's like, really? All right. But it redeemed itself in the final act.
It kind of reminds me, the motion comics, of like the old school animations and video games, like the cutscenes. How those first started.
Yeah. Right. It reminded me a lot of the late 70s cartoons that were on TV because it was kind of the same thing.
Yeah, with the really limited animation and kind of that throwback. Except they were using John Cassaday's art, so it was really pretty.
It was great. It was in various different places, various different motifs. You had the technological spaceships and X-Men room and stuff like that. And then you had the forest. You had really devastated locations, a city that was devastated or whatever. And then you had
Genosha.
Genosha. And then you had outer space planets. So you had the gambit, and the art was done very well throughout it.
Yeah, and actually, you mentioned the guy who does Wolverine's voice. This guy is a really, really well-known voice actor. He's done voices he's in My Little Pony. He's actually even an actor in like Stargate SG-1. He was a couple of bit parts.
Ooh.
He's been Wolverine in a bunch of like the video games and the movies, X-Men vs. Sabretooth, that sort of thing. He's in a bunch of anime, like a lot of anime, like Gundam Seed Destiny. He was in Masters of the Universe, the reboot, as one of the bad guys. He was in X-Men Evolution. So, I mean, the guy has a history. And he was Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z. So.
Oh, wow.
Lots of great stuff.
Him and Wolverine and Nick Fury sound pretty similar. I wonder if he does both the voices.
Or they were both voice actors were just doing their gruff guy voice.
Yeah.
It doesn't say who did Nick Fury on here.
Yeah, Nick only was on there a little bit of the first season.
He had like 2 scenes, I think.
Yeah.
In the first season.
So they probably did just get somebody to do the voice at the same time.
This was my first exposure to Agent Brandt.
Oh, Agent Brand is amazing. Brand. No, I love her. She's amazing. This was actually, I think, where the character was created. And she's shown up a lot ever since then. And every time she's just amazing. And I love her.
Tell me a little bit about her. I mean, does this series basically encapsulate her, or is there more to her character?
No, I think this basically, she's very businesslike. She's half alien. She works for SWORD, which is basically the S.H.I.E.L.D. equivalent, but in space. In space. She's very no nonsense. She don't give no crap, or she don't take no crap.
Obviously.
And she don't give no crap. She will do just whatever it takes. She's snarky. She's one of those characters that I really hope finds her way into the movies. Like, I would love for her to show up in Guardians of the Galaxy or Captain Marvel. Just something.
Well, she's the head of SWORD, right? Basically? Yeah.
Yes. But I would love for her to just show up in some capacity. I would love that.
Well, isn't there a rumor that there's going to be a spin-off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it might be SWORD? At least that's what I read online.
It's been talked about. but right now it's Adrian Palicki as Mockingbird is really the spinoff that they're talking about. I guess they were looking into a pilot, but I'm not sure where that is right now. I mean, we've been watching the news all summer, and we only heard that they were relooking the idea of a pilot. And I haven't heard any more about it.
Well, you know what? When I was on the lines at Comic-Con, that's all we have to do is talk, and just everyone has different pieces of information. You never know what's true or not.
Right.
Yeah.
You never know what the rumor mill is. Like, you're waiting for a panel. Oh, did you hear that they've actually filmed 5 episodes? Really? No, I haven't.
I'll believe it when it's leaked online.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, Michael, we went through this whole thing about speculation into who was going to be cast as Doctor Strange for about 4 months. And so we decided not to actually report anything anymore on that until it was confirmed. So that's kind of where we are with news these days.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about the voice cast. I'm looking at it. There's a whole bunch that are unknown episodes. The guy that played Vegeta is listed as Logan for unknown episodes. The guy that is listed as Wolverine for 1 episode, which probably is more, is Mark Thompson. And he was actually he was a bunch of voices, like half of the male cast on Daria, among other things.
That's great. So, Haley, what was your favorite part of this whole thing?
My favorite part is at the very end, the exchange between Kitty and Emma. Just the very end.
All the feels into that. I actually had to go and look what happened to Kitty in her story arc after that. And it sets up her future. It sets up where she is right now. But at the time, it's like, oh.
Yeah, for a while, she was just lost in space.
Literally.
Yes, for a while, she was just on Giant Space Bullet. And it was kind of a running joke in the fandom.
And the big question was, how did she survive that whole time? And it was because she melded in with whatever this special metal was that the bullet was made out of.
Yes, she became intangible, so she didn't need to breathe or anything. She just couldn't get unstuck. And actually, that became this whole thing in the comics. So since it was kind of like she had sprained a muscle, like she couldn't get back into place, so she kept phasing accidentally and couldn't quite snap back into place, so they had to put her in this weird containment suit for a while. It was a weird time. Magneto was the one that brought her back to prove that he was a good guy to the remaining X-Men after M-Day. For a little while. I'm not sure where he's at right now, but I don't really care because I love Magneto. Yeah, it was... that issue made me cry so much.
So, Lauren, what was your favorite part of this whole series here, the Astonishing X-Men?
Just any time Kitty and Emma would interact. I loved the interaction between them. I know a lot of people accuse Joss Whedon of writing Kitty as kind of his pet character because he has admitted to making Buffy very influenced by Kitty Pryde.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that kind of plays to his strengths with her.
Every time Kitty was on, she was doing the stereotypical, like, thinking a mile a minute, right? And you heard her interior dialogue. It was like, whoa, slow down. Come on.
That's the thing that a lot of people don't remember is that Kitty was incredibly smart in the comics.
She was a computer whiz.
Yeah, she was a computer whiz. After there was this thing with the X-Men, she went to college. She got a degree. She had a life. And then she went back to the X-Men. And she became a teacher. And for a while there, she was their Xavier, like the young X-Men that traveled back in time. And it's a really long story. And basically, anytime I talk about X-Men, I have to eventually trail off into, and it's a long story.
Way back in the day when we did that fantasy sci-fi league, she was on my fantasy sci-fi league.
Oh, awesome.
I'll have to go back and read that because I had no idea who Kitty Pryde was.
Well, I never actually wrote for any of the missions, but I put together a team and she was on it.
Who else was on the team, do you remember, that complimented her?
Who was it? Becca Valentine. I remember it was all girls. I don't remember who all was on it, though. I think maybe Sam Carter.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't remember who the fourth person was, but yeah.
Yeah, I know I had Lana from Archer, Sookie Stackhouse. God, who else did I have? I don't remember.
Sookie.
Somebody from comics and somebody from movies.
I remember there was like 3 versions of it, and it was great. And the last time was it one woman? I might have had more than one, but there was one woman I had on the team. It was from Robotech. It was Min May.
Oh, I remember yours, because I was like, oh my god, I know who this is.
So whenever she sang, she actually defeated everybody around her, and that was the thing.
Yeah. By the way, yes, this is actually a thing in Robotech for the uninitiated.
It actually is, yeah. Robotech's my favorite sci-fi series of all time. SG-1 is my favorite, like, live action, but the Robotech is my favorite overall. Okay, so it's an incredible series. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and see it, or read the comics, or both, because it is very well done. I am so glad Haley decided to do this. It was awesome.
I'm pretty sure you can find the DVDs. I know you can find the books either in trade or as collections.
So the DVDs, funny story, you can get all the Marvel Knights motion comics on DVD for $29.99. So that's all 4 seasons of this and a few other series. Or you can get it on Blu-ray for $109.99.
Oh my God.
I didn't think the quality was all that great on the Blu-ray, so I'd stick with the DVD. I think it was made before HD was a thing.
Right.
It was made in 2009, so it's like right around
when that was starting to become a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was great. So since you didn't get to see the whole thing, Michael, I've got a question for you. Who is your favorite X-Men?
I guess it's kind of cliche, but Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I'm not a big guy, and in the comics, he wasn't a big guy either.
No, he's a small guy.
Yeah, and he was always hairy, and as I started growing up, I started to get a little hairy myself. I was like, oh, this is me. I want to just chop everybody up. You can't kill Wolverine.
Have you ever 3D printed the claws yet?
I haven't, but now you just gave me the idea.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. We'll talk about that in a second. So, does anybody have anything more to say about Astonishing X-Men?
There is so much of it that got incorporated into later plots with like Utopia and everything. Kavita Rao for a while was on this X-Men science team. It was Beast, Dr. Nemesis, Box, Madison Jeffries, and Kavita Rao. There's some really good one-shots about them just solving problems with science, and it was completely ridiculous and a lot of fun.
I do have one thing to say about this. It was an incredible infusion of the entire Marvel Universe.
Right. This really is, it's all connected because they have the rights to everything.
Yes.
So you had the Fantastic Four sweep in, you had Spider-Man sweep in, you had the Avengers sweep in. So I don't think Captain was there. I'm trying to remember, but I know Iron Man was there.
You saw him in a flash. He wasn't actually part of the congregation of superheroes, but when they were talking about leaders of teams, they showed him and they showed Reed Richards.
They did. And then they also had Doctor Strange as a prominent character near the end too. So it was great
before he got knocked out.
They all got knocked out. Yeah, it was great seeing the entire Marvel family basically band together at the end. And it was fun. And, if you ever need a ride, you just call another team, like call the Avengers.
Unless you're civilly warring.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if your plane gets shot down, call the Avengers. If they're not available, call the Fantastic Four. If you're in New York, go see Spider-Man. He'll swing you around. So there you go. All right. Are we done with Astonishing X-Men, or does anybody have any last parting shots?
I have a crapload of quotes.
Shoot. You're on.
Lauren kind of already took this one, but I'm sorry. I was busy remembering to put on all my clothes.
That was funny.
Is this going to be about tights? Sorry, Logan. Superheroes wear costumes. And quite frankly, all of the black leather is making people nervous.
I have to clarify this. Right when I got back into reading comics in the early 2000s, late 90s, it was when they were doing the new X-Men, the one with like Frank Quietly on the art and I'm blanking out, Grant Morrison as the writer. So they were like, yeah, this was right around the time when the X-Men movie came out. So they were like, yeah, no more bright spandex costumes. Everyone's wearing motorcycle jackets and leather and inexplicably giant platform heels for the ladies. Like, seriously, if I were to show you the picture from the cover, Emma Frost and Jean Grey are both wearing 6-inch platform shoes, like Spice Girl platform shoes. And this was kind of the stepping back away from that.
Oh, yeah. When Emma first showed up and she was on the good team, I was like, what is up with, I don't trust her. I don't trust her. I don't trust her. And of course they played that up. And in the end, you see what happens. It's like, oh, okay. I was just strung along this whole time. It was a good ride. Thanks, Joss. What else you got, Haley?
Oh my God. You teach ethics?
Yes. And again, there's a good joke about that in the Wolverine and the X-Men comic when Wolverine starts up his own school with blackjack and hookers. No blackjack, no hookers. But they have the class roster and it's Kitty Pryde, ethics, aka how to undo everything Emma Frost ever taught you.
That's awesome.
You have to know, if you're a clone or a robot or, yeah, a ghost or an alternate universe thingy, I can deal. But if you're some shapeshifter or illusionist who's just watching me twist, I will kill you. I will kill you with an axe.
That was great. That was her outer dialogue against Colossus, right? That was funny.
Colossus, who had been dead since like 2001.
They brought him back. Bring him back.
Of course they did.
That was funny.
Jean Grey is dead, Agent. Yeah, that'll last.
And then we saw Jean, we saw her a couple times, actually.
We saw Head Jean.
Yeah, and we also saw the shapeshifting Jean, so. Or is that what you're referring to as Head Jean?
No, that was shapeshifting.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't even shapeshifting, it was more of a psychic projection. Whatever.
What else you got, Haley?
You want advanced self-pity? That's Professor Summers across the hall.
That was great. Wolverine's thing in the fight room or the danger room or whatever, that was awesome. Like, yeah. You want to be X-Men? We're going to be X-Men. It's great.
I'm sorry, now I'm picturing you as Batman from How It Should Have Ended. I'm Batman.
I'm Batman. Well, that's an honor. If you think I'm Batman, you don't think Wing's Batman. If you think I'm more Batman than Wing, that'll frost him over.
That reminds me, I really need to send him the body pillow of Nightwing that my friend makes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Which I only last time noticed is like a bondage pillow too. Like his wrists are all tied up and he's like mostly naked.
Funny that you mentioned that. I think that's right up Wing's alley, so I'll give you his address.
Jean, God, she wouldn't stop dying on you.
That's right.
It's funny because it's true.
I know, the dialogue was so funny. Every once in a while when you're thinking, oh, this is getting a little long in the tooth, they punch you with one. It's great. So what else you got, Haley?
I object. Oh, that scene was the best.
Yes.
Where you get the scene of them talking awkwardly and you're like, man, this is kind of awkwardly written, this bit. And then you flash back to it and it's all the head talking.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Oh, it was great. And we better move this along before Kitty tries to act again. It's funny.
You get this many big guns in the same room, not civilly warring. It's either the end of the world or, actually, I don't have an or.
Yeah.
This was actually originally like published right towards the end of the Civil War run, by the way. So. Okay.
Disappointed, Miss Frost? Astonished, Miss Pride.
Oh God.
The Astonishing X-Men. There you go.
Okay.
And that bit right there is why we watched it this week. Really, the reason I picked this is because last week...
Okay, now I'm getting all teary-eyed.
That's okay, I'll talk for a minute. When we talked about First Class, and we talked about Days of Future Past, and we talked about Emma Frost in the first movie, and Kitty Pryde, and her portrayal through the movies, and how she didn't really get the fair shake, and she didn't get to be as strong of a character as she is in the comics. This motion comic lets you see a fuller version of those characters and what we could have had.
Right. She was the pivotal character in this entire run here, the Astonishing X-Men, without a doubt. She was the one you were watching the whole way through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm over here crying about comics again. This happens.
Must be Wednesday.
Next week you'll be crying about your science babies.
Yes, probably.
All right. So we kind of glanced over it right when we started because I just wanted to run into our talk about Astonishing X-Men. But we do have an Ant-Man crate giveaway, Marvel's Ant-Man crate. We had an anonymous donor give us a Ant-Man crate. It is still in the box. It has got an Ant-Man in it. It's got a couple little figurines. It's got a t-shirt comic and stuff like that. It is awesome. And if you want it, all you have to do is what, Haley?
Send us a funny review about Ant-Man. You can send it through any of our contact means. You can call and leave us a voicemail. You can leave us an iTunes review. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, on the forums, on Tumblr. Anywhere that we take your contact feedback, you can send us a review of Ant-Man. But you have to get that to us by next week as of this recording when we're discussing the premiere of the new season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Absolutely. So hopefully you'll listen to the live version of this because unfortunately I'm not going to get this out anytime soon. So, Lauren, actually, you're in the running for this. So you actually have to give us a funny review of Ant-Man written next week. Or you can call us in, or you can actually, say it on the podcast. So you are in the running for your very own Ant-Man Marvel crate.
And we'll make sure we blast this out across social media to let people know that they need to get their entries in.
Can I do that like right now?
Do it. Go for it.
Do it.
I'm going to do it in a tiny voice.
Ooh.
I'm going to do it. If y'all could see this right now, it'd be hilarious. Because,
I can see it.
Yes, on video, I'm being tiny. Like, tinier than usual.
I can barely see your eyes.
Ant-Man was a lot of fun. Ant-Man, everyone had adventures. Everyone rode tiny ants. So by everyone, I just mean Ant-Man. I want to ride the ants. Ant-Man.
Yay!
It's not really that funny.
I think the voice sold it, though. That was good. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. That's it for Astonishing X-Men and Ant-Man. We're going to move it along. Talking about moving along, we've been dragging Michael with us on this podcast for quite some time. So thank you very much for staying with us, Michael. Now, the reason we have you on this podcast is because I got this little thing for you audio listeners. I'm holding up a stellar version of Fury's Toolbox that was 3D printed for me. I bought it from Michael, and then I sent him a little thank you note, and he's like, "Oh, that's great. Nobody ever sends a thank you note." So I'm like, really? Nobody? Well, whatever. So anyway, he does great stuff. And I saw his Facebook page. And then independently of that, on the Gonna Geek podcast, the guys did a story about his great Ultron mask and that he 3D printed about the time that Avengers 2 was earlier this year. And so we were like, cool. And we started talking, and you know, he's just a like-minded geek. He wants to talk about geeky stuff, and he's got great 3D props and cosplay. So we want to hear all about it. So, what's your favorite thing that you've printed off so far?
Well, I think my favorite thing is probably what I'm doing right now is for myself is, the Atom suit from Arrow.
I can't wait. You shared some pictures of that with me earlier this week. I was like, oh, it's coming together. It's working.
Yeah, it's become a really big project, and I'm taking my time because I want to get it right. I've never cosplayed before, so if I'm going to do it, I want to make sure I'm the best in the room.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really trying hard to get it ready for New York Comic Con, which is in about 2 weeks.
You're going to be at New York Comic Con?
I live in New York. Yeah, that's my home con. Yeah.
That's going to be great because a co-host of mine on Voices Defiance is going to be there. Her name is Shannon. She'll be there Saturday. We're going to have to hook you guys up so you guys can take a picture. It'll be great.
Yeah, definitely.
She'll have no idea who you are, but actually she did get caught up on a lot of the shows. So I think, if not, I'll tell her who Adam is and she'll be fine. But, yeah, it's great. And, you said you had it about 70% done?
Almost all of it is printed out. It's just really just the finishing of it, which is the most time consuming of the sanding and priming and, you know, just to make it look professionally done.
Yeah. Can't wait. It's going to look great.
It's coming along, and, I've already got approached by, cause I posted some pictures already online in some, 3D printing forums, and I got approached by, a couple of big websites already that want to do stories on it. So now the pressure's really on to get it done.
It is. So you got less time for podcasting and you have to devote more time to...
There's always time for podcasting.
That's what we say. Yeah, exactly. So you've got this coming on, but you're also, well, I mean, this is full bore for you right now, but you're not just doing this. You've done a ton of other stuff as well because you got to pay for all this, right?
You know, a lot of it is custom work. So I take, mainly commissions. So, you know, someone would approach me on my Facebook page or, through like Twitter or Instagram where I post a lot of stuff too. And they say, hey, can you make this? And, you know, I look at the project and, you know, we go from there. You know, I give them a quote and we just, you know, do our thing.
Do your thing. So, Haley, if you had one thing that you wanted to have 3D printed, what would it be?
Ooh, the prop I want most right now would not be 3D printing. I want Rogue's X-Men jacket. But for 3D printing, I don't know, probably some cool sci-fi weapon. I
could do the X-Men logo on that jacket. I've done that already.
Oh, on the back of it or on the front?
You know, they all have that little X-Men communicator that they all have in like in the 90s cartoons.
Yeah.
Which is my X-Men. Yeah. They talk to each other.
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of those already. You know, nice. the thing I've done the most is the Flash emblems and the Flash bolts for the costumes. I've done a ton of those already.
We wouldn't know anything about the Flash here, would we?
I know a lot about the Flash now.
You know what I would want 3D printed? I would want the treadmill. The industrial strength. And I would want it to work too, by the way. Can you make that happen?
I could do it. Give me some time. I could do it.
You can Cisco it up.
My husband and I have actually done a lot of talking about cosplay with 3D printing. We've just never, I mean, we haven't invested in it yet. We've done a lot of talking about like, oh, but what if we could like print out parts to make like a drive suit from Pacific Rim?
Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, you can do that. Definitely.
You could 3D print one of the mechs, and he could make it work. He's a rocket scientist. I'll help him too, because, you know, us rocket scientists have to band together.
Everybody take a drink.
Yeah. If you wanted to have one thing 3D printed, that's what it would be, Lauren?
That's what it would be, the suit from Pacific Rim. Specifically, I want the one from Cherno Alpha, because I think those look the coolest, but, I mean, I'll take what I can get.
So these things are not cheap. I looked them up, what you have, and they run in the, like, $3,000 to $4,000 range.
Well, it depends. It depends on, you know, which companies you go with. I have two printers right now from the same company, and it's kind of the biggest that you can print, like in the home. It's 16 by 16 inches by 18 inches high, and that's about maybe $2,300. So it's not too bad.
Yeah,
you can get smaller versions. You might as well go big. Why not?
Exactly. Get them as big as you can.
Yeah.
So it's an up and coming field. It is going to make a lot of things incredibly accessible to the fans, and it is going to channel a lot of the geekdom that a lot of people have that are either tech savvy or just, you know, want to be able to create these things and go to cons and look amazing, like you said, and look screen ready and everything like that. So I think actually, you know, it's a wonderful way to market. So if you're a prop maker, or if you're probably not prop makers because they want to keep their jobs, but if you're a showrunner and you want to get a lot of people at cons, whatever, do you think you would just release plans, or would you want to protect your prop makers?
I guess I know people who go both ways. A lot of people like to throw all their stuff out there.
Yep.
I'm more of, I like to keep it in the beginning for myself because I want people to come to me. And then once the hype kind of dies down, then I'm like, okay, I'll let it out there.
Yeah. All right. It's all cool. Well, we're going to be talking more about this, specifically the Atom suit, this Friday on Starling Tribune. We're going to be running at 9 p.m. Eastern, and Michael has agreed to join us specifically to talk to his Atom suit and everything else that's DC. And you know what, Haley? Michael has said that he wants to talk about The Flash.
I have a place where we could talk about The Flash.
So we'll hook you up there.
Yay.
All right. Yeah, Michael, you got anything else that you want to get out there on 3D printing?
I would say just follow me on Facebook, Hero Complex Props, and I usually put all my updates there.
All right. So awesome stuff, and hang on, there will be more coming. Alrighty, this is where we have our comic book segments. We have one today, Adam. Neil actually called in and he said, you know, SP, my job's a little rough and I just want to make sure that we have next week under control. And I said, you go, boy. So he said, thank you very much and I'll be back next week. But we do have Adam with us on a little Agent Carter. Here we go.
This is Consultant Black Adam with your mission report for the 50 Years of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent Carter one-shot, written by Catherine Immonen with art by Rich Ellis and Rachel Rosenberg. The story starts in 1966 with Peggy and Dum Dum doing target practice with some prototype weapons off the back of an early helicarrier. Dum Dum is considering recruiting a very special new operative and has asked Peggy to spend some time with her and get an opinion on whether she would be a good fit. However, when the carrier is attacked, it's up to Peggy and Lady Sif to save the day. This is a different look at Peggy than we've seen in the MCU, since S.H.I.E.L.D. is more interested in keeping her than she is in staying with them. This was a fun team-up that seemed to go by far too quickly. There will be twice as much S.H.I.E.L.D. coming out next week, with both the Nick Fury one-shot, featuring a team-up between the current Nick Fury and Nick Fury Sr., and S.H.I.E.L.D. number 10, guest starring Howard the Duck. Yeah, you heard that right, Howard the Duck. I would also like to give a shout out to Epic Comics in Orlando, the store where I get all the comics I review for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, that last part was very important. Make sure you go out and you patronize your local comic book shops. They are awesome, full of awesome people and awesome stuff. and very knowledgeable people too. Hey, if you're looking for something or don't know what you're looking for, just say, hey, I'm in the mood for this. They will hook you up, right, Lauren?
Yep.
I'm loving these reviews that Adam does on the 50th anniversary stuff. I mean, it's just awesome. Thank you very much, Adam. Haley, what was your best part of it?
Just anything with Peggy Carter is the best, so.
There you go. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I read that comic, and seriously, her teaming around with Sif is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I actually downloaded it, but I haven't been able to open it yet because, I was kind of busy last weekend. So I'm going to get on it now. All right. So thank you very much. That is the comic book review segment for this week. And we're going to move on into some news. You ladies ready?
Ready.
Michael, you ready too?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. It was a light news week this week, as the ladies were describing pre-podcast. They were like, hey, did we just miss something? I don't understand. It was, well, it's premiere week. So they're all focusing on the episode next week. Yes, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on next week. It's going to be so cool.
Oh my God, it's next week?
Oh my God!
It's next week, and we get to find out what happened to Agent Simmons.
Science baby! No. No.
All right. So,
Bad Haley.
so the first thing that happened this week, though, was the Dub Smash videos are ensuing, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
We got a new one, and they got some DC up in this Dub Smash. The new Supergirl star, Melissa Benoist, made an appearance.
Wow, what a crossover.
Yeah, to the tune of Why Can't We Be Friends, which is now going to be stuck in my head for about 3 days.
It's been stuck in my head the entire podcast.
It's been stuck in my head since the 7th grade.
Okay, so a quick update on the standing of the showdown. $30,967 for Team Carter going to stomp out bullying, and $30,202 for Team S.H.I.E.L.D. going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
S.H.I.E.L.D's not doing so hot.
Well, when we first started recording this one, they were down at 29,000. I think they just put out their new video.
They did. They just put it out earlier today. I was going to say, I don't know. I guess people really liked Jarvis sexily washing a car. Yes. Which I did like.
It's all about the Lola, let me tell you. I got her right up there. We're cool.
Her name was Lola.
Lola Lola. Which I can't hear without thinking of the Weird Al version, Yoda.
That's true. Weird Al Yankovic is great. Michael, have you been paying attention to these Dub Smash videos?
I've caught the beginning ones. I haven't seen any of the recent ones, but they're definitely hilarious.
Patton Oswalt on a wrecking ball? You need to watch it.
Oh, I have to
in
see
little
that
shorty
now.
shorts.
Fun stuff. Okay. And then also, we have some flashbacks to season 2 going on, don't we?
Yes, we do. The gag reel was released on YouTube, and it is hilarious. Have y'all seen it yet?
No, not the whole thing.
Part of it. I didn't get a chance to watch all of it.
It's pretty great. There's a lot of weapons not working, a lot of forgetting lines. Ward farts at one point while doing sit-ups.
He is evil.
Yeah, a lot of pranks on set. Okay, Clark Gregg pulls a lot of pranks on this. My favorite one involves a clown mask. It's really great. I was just sitting here cackling watching it.
I can't wait.
It's pretty fantastic.
I'm going to watch it right after we get done. I was actually doing some coding right before the podcast, so I couldn't watch it, but it's all cool stuff. Michael, you've seen all of season 2, right?
Yes, sir.
What was your favorite part of the show so far? Season 1, season 2?
Well, my favorite part is when she finally got her powers.
Yeah.
But what I'm most looking forward to see if Agent Fitz somehow fixes himself, to get back to, his normal. That's what I'm looking forward to. I hope that happens soon.
We were speculating all last year that we were going to see evil Fitz, and we never did. We never did. Not yet. Right.
I think last season was our chance to see that. Since it didn't happen then, I don't think we're going to get it.
Yeah. You know why I said that, right? Because I was goading somebody to say something, and she's completely believing.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Fitz is going bad.
No.
That's not
She's
the thing.
in a very fragile state.
You got to say the thing. Come on.
Science, baby.
Oh, come on. You do better than that. We got the show next week.
science baby.
Oh, okay.
No, nothing bad can happen to my science babies.
They got all season, so don't worry about it. They're not going to bring them back just for one episode, unlike Defiance. Ugh. All right. Moving on in the world, we got Spider-Man, we got Civil War, we got stuff going on. So what's going on with Spider-Man?
Well, we know how old he's going to be.
Like
and
12?
Well, 15.
Oh, okay.
Is what they're saying. And that's about all you get in this interview that we're linking to.
All right. So what's going on between Sebastian Stan and Zack Snyder?
Showdown of the ages.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, I'm very sad that I did not get to see Sebastian Stan. I guess it was last week that he was at NASA. I live near Johnson Space Center, and I was like, ooh, he's going to be there.
Yeah.
And it turned out it was not open to friends and family of employees, so I didn't get to go. Around the time they were like, because right now he's out promoting The Martian, the movie, not like just random Martians.
I can't wait for that movie to come out, by the way.
Yeah, everyone at JSC is just so incredibly hyped about it. I haven't read it yet. I'm planning to read it after I see the movie so that I will have a minimum of yelling about how it's not like it was in the book. So, which is usually a problem with me. True.
And I know we're going to get some great words from a person that I will not name because I'm mad at him for killing Pluto.
Ooh, DeGrasse Tyson's son.
You can't say the name.
I can say the name. I love him.
His name is banned from this podcast. He killed Pluto.
He did not kill Pluto.
Yeah, Pluto's not a planet anymore because of him.
But while Sebastian Stan, not DeGrasse Tyson's son, was doing press for The Martian at the Toronto International Film Festival, Sebastian Stan, who, by the way, still has Bucky hair, and in one of the pictures I saw of him riding around, like, the lunar module rover thing they have.
Nice.
Which I'll have to link you. I couldn't find it right here, but I saw the pictures on Tumblr, and he has, like, I was looking at, on one hand, he has a watch, on the other, I'm like, that's a ponytail holder.
Ooh.
But, no, because he still has the long hair.
Yeah, right.
But he's doing press because he has the long hair, and it's really annoying, and that's why I shaved half of mine off. So he's saying, I'm sitting here and I'm listening and I'm thinking, do I want to fire some shots at DC right now, at Zack Snyder? I read some of these comments where he said something about Batman and Superman. I can't remember where I read that somewhere. Something about, it's not going to be your flavor of the week Ant-Man. And I was like, oh, thanks, Zack. That's great. Way to do something original. So he's talking about it, and he talks a lot about Civil War. And that's kind of one of the reasons that I wanted to go see him, because it's like nobody is more pro Winter Soldier and Bucky than Sebastian Stan. There's a bunch of GIFs and stuff on Tumblr of his facial expression when people say, what do you think about Bucky as a villain? He's like, no! He's into it. He's pretty into it. So I kind of wanted to see him getting all enthusiastic. Also, I have a Winter Soldier jacket, so...
That would be awesome to have.
It's homemade.
Well, I've been looking at the leather ones. You know, the actual leather ones, like $200 to $500, and because there's so much money, I want to make sure I get the right one.
I just got 2 hoodies and dyed them the right color and then sewed them together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then painted the cyborg arm.
Wasn't it Kevin Feige that came to Comic-Con 2 years ago in a sweater that nobody had at that point in time? With the one arm that was silver and stuff? Yes, I was
very jealous.
Yeah. Imagine the head of Marvel would be able to get the good garb. And he did. He could probably have a screen replica costume if he wanted to, but whatever. Screen accurate, or the actual screen costume you probably could have. Okay. Moving on. We have one last announcement, and it is a writer for a comic.
I was so happy about this. This blogger that I follow, Gavia Baker-Whitlaw, who is also known as Hello Taylor. I've mentioned her on this podcast several times before. She does analyses of various movies and the characters and stuff by their costumes. She's done a lot for Marvel. She's a huge Marvel fan. And she writes for the Daily Dot. And yesterday I saw her predicting that Ta-Nehisi Coates of, I think the Washington Post, she's like, I bet he's going to write Black Panther. I bet he's going to write Black Panther, the comic, not the movie. And then shortly after, he posted on his Twitter account a picture of Black Panther with Victor Vaughn, what's good? So yes, Ta-Nehisi Coates is going to be writing Black Panther for Marvel. And he's a great, great writer. If you've never read any of his articles or books, check him out. He's awesome. And I am really looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what he does with it. He's definitely going to be having a political bent to it. And I want to see what that means in terms of the Marvelverse and Wakanda and everything. There's a lot he could do with that because of the situation that Wakanda was in after the Phoenix stuff in X-Men a while back. I'm not sure how much of that is going to roll over into the all-new Marvel universe and everything. But we'll see. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yep. Lots of great stuff going on. And, of course, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is back next week. Yay!
Holla!
And it's all going to be good. Anybody got any last rounds, saved rounds for the news this week?
Don't think so. I remembered who the fourth person on my fantasy sci-fi team was.
Who was it?
Duncan, Idaho.
Amazing team. You should have actually written some stuff for that. Come on.
That sounds like an awful lot of work.
It was, but it was fun.
It was.
I won one round. I remember I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
I remember for one of them, the mission was to rescue somebody, and I almost, at the last minute, just wrote, Kitty Pryde walks through. Kitty Pryde picks up the puppy. Kitty Pryde walks out.
That's right. It was rescuing Bolo or something like that, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's it for the news. We're going to run on to some feedback. So we had just a little bit of feedback this week. First of all, Mr. Pericles tweeted us after our podcast last week, and he said, "Hey, look, Jessica Jones photos." And Lauren fainted.
I didn't faint. I just decided to lie on the floor for a bit to recover.
Yeah. So, Lauren, did you see these? Did you see them?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pericles. You made Lauren's day. And then our very own consultant, Mr. Black Adam, tweeted us and he said, "Ultimate Spider-Man is a kid's cartoon, but Clark Gregg is great as Principal Coulson."
I was so mad when that show premiered initially because it replaced Spectacular Spider-Man, which was really good. But I stayed watching it because of Principal Coulson. And I was like, is that Clark Gregg? And I checked and it actually was Clark Gregg. And then it kind of started to find its own feet, and it's actually a pretty good show.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, check it out, guys.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then perennial tweeter to us, Richard at Kodiak GWC, tweeted us and he said, "Guys, Ant-Man has made more money domestically than Captain America First Avengers. It's moved to number 10 in the MCU. Hashtag Box Office Mojo." Actually, at Box Office Mojo. But yeah, so Ant-Man is moving up the ranks, bigger than Captain America. So there you go. I wonder how much of this is because the price of tickets have gone up since
That's
Captain
some
America.
of it. There's also more hype around the Marvel movies now than there was with Phase 1.
Yeah.
True. I remember the big thing was, I have to go see this because it's going to be in Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have seen it, even though Captain America is like my favorite. So who's your favorite Marvel character of all? Is it Wolverine, or do you have, Michael, of all of the Marvel characters, do you have a favorite?
I wouldn't say I have one favorite. I'm more or less like the teams.
Yep.
It's always been the X-Men because, I kind of grew up on the 90s cartoons and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually enjoyed the Ant-Man movie more than the new Avengers movie. I don't know if you guys discussed it already.
No, you're in good company there.
I know it's been discussed both on Gonna Geek and All Things Good and Nerdy, two other podcasts on the Gonna Geek network. And everybody was saying, yeah, I mean, the bigger movie was the Avengers movie, but the best movie, the more fun movie was Ant-Man.
Yeah, it feels like they just tried to do a cheap copy of the first one.
Yeah.
To me.
And I think we've discussed it at length. There was some creative differences, and then the Marvel Creative Committee, which is now disbanded and whatever. And we'll see what Kevin Feige does now that he's got all the power. We'll see if it's better or not. So there you go. And then we've talked about it already, but our favorite tweeter, The Operator, that's at @the_operator01, co-creator of Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., tweeted us and he said, "Hey, Now that's a crossover, and it's a picture of Deadpool, Clark Gregg, Supergirl, and Chloe Bennett.
Right, and that is from the Dub Smash 4 video.
There you go. So thank you guys very much for all the tweets. We really appreciate it.
Who do you think was wearing the Deadpool costume?
Ryan Reynolds. That's totally right.
Okay, then who do you think was wearing the Batman costume?
That was me.
I'm Batman. There you go. All right. So we did get a new iTunes review. It's great.
Woo!
We're getting iTunes reviews this summer. It's fun. Okay. So I_Maggie on iTunes said, it is a fun blend of fan, news, and interesting personalities. Ooh, I'm not interesting at all. She's talking about you two girls. I really enjoy the podcast, and I'm looking forward to season 3. So are we. Yay, next week.
It's coming. Oh my God, it's coming.
It's happening. Thank you very much, I_Maggie. And tell you what, if you actually tell us who you are, we'll be so good as to enter you into the Ant-Man giveaway.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right. That is it for feedback. Are all of you ready to walk this one out?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Next week, we will be discussing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 1, Laws of Nature. We have a website. It's legendsofshield.com. It is on the GonnaGeek.com website. We also have a voicemail line, don't we, Haley?
Yes, 844-the-bus-1. That's 844-843-2871.
I totally missed the bus. Looking forward to the new one.
Yes, maybe we'll have a new one on next Tuesday.
A new bus with blackjack and hookers.
Exactly.
And an aquarium.
Oh. Not just a fish tank. This time, a whole aquarium.
The whole deck. It's a swimming pool. It needs at least a jacuzzi tub. You gotta think, if they're living on that plane, it's gotta get stinky after a while. They need somewhere to shower off or whatever.
I'm assuming they've got showers.
I don't know.
They all have to take sponge baths.
Bobo bath.
And I have just written a fan fiction.
There you go.
Or one is being written by me mentioning it.
There you go. We have a Facebook. That's Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Twitter and Tumblr. Go search for Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. We are there. We also have a YouTube channel at Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. And don't forget our forums on the Gonna Geek Network. That's forums.gonnageek.com. So we will love your feedback. We love your Science and Marvel questions. We had a couple of those a couple of weeks ago. It was great. Don't forget about Agent Carter, Peggy Carter. She's still around. And as you can tell by the Dub Smash Wars, just having a great time. All right, and guess what? It's the premiere episode next week. We'll record the very night afterwards. So get me your feedback before 7 p.m. the day after the episode so we can include it in the podcast. I just want to say thank you very much, Michael, for joining us today. It was awesome having you on talking about all things Marvel and cosplaying and 3D printing props.
Thank you, man. I appreciate being on.
And one more time, if somebody is looking to see your amazing work, where are they going to go?
Hero Complex Props. That's on Facebook, and on Instagram it would be at @ThatNerdMike.
You're just that nerd. You're that nerd. Why didn't you go with DAT, Dat Nerd Mike?
I don't know.
Maybe you should grab that and go buy both.
I'm going to get both of them right now.
Yeah. So thank you very much. And thank you for everybody in the chat. It was a rockin' evening tonight. And so thank you very much.
Thank you to everybody who gets a hold of us via Twitter and tweets us links. And next week I'm going to... Wait, what's next Tuesday?
It's next week. It's next
No,
week.
I'm just trying to remember because I might be going to see Miami Connection with a friend of mine for Rift
September
Track
29th.
You did that on the day?
Okay, it's not next week. Okay, no, next week I will be going to live tweet.
Good, because everybody wants to see you live tweet, and that is at Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. on our Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Twitter account, yeah.
Everybody who hangs out for the live tweets, I really appreciate you because it makes it so much more fun. Even though I would live tweet into the void because I have fun doing it to amuse myself.
Right.
And yes, thank you. We love you.
And thank you to iMaggie for our awesome new iTunes review. We love those. Yay. They make us feel special.
They do. Special. The short bus special, right?
Well, yeah, we'll take what we can get.
We try. All right. Thank you guys very much. Until next time, I'm Agent Stargate Pioneer.
I'm Agent Haley.
I'm Agent Lauren.
And I'm Michael Ruddy.
Bye. See you guys next week.
Later.
Bye.
Later.
Small voice, Lauren. Small voice.
Later.
Thank you for listening. If you want to leave us feedback, go to gonnageek.com and you will find all of our contact information and other shows. You can also visit legendsofshield.com where you'll find our complete archive of podcasts. The music heard on this podcast is by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com. The opinions heard on this podcast are those of the individual host and do not represent Legends, Stream, or Gonna Geek. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the property of the Disney Corporation. No infringement is intended.
This broadcast has been successfully terminated.